This morning, 3 young men will go before a judge accused of throwing a rock and killing a woman in her car last week. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is live at the Jefferson County Justice Center. And Veronica, we're now learning some new details about these young suspects, but there are still a lot of big questions in this investigation.
There are. We know that these are 3 18-year-old high school seniors who are behind bars this morning, and in just a few hours, they will stand in a courtroom for the very first time after being arrested for the rock-throwing death of Alexa Bartell. Now, we know that these 3 high school seniors and the court likely will release some more information after that first appearance via an arrest affidavit. That arrest affidavit will likely clear up some things, give us some more information as to how police were able to make the connection and connect these 3 to these crimes. Now, here's a look at the 3 teenagers. The sheriff's office released the mugshots of Nicholas Karolchik, Zachary Kwok, and Joseph Koenig. The 3 friends all lived in Arvada, each at their parents' houses, which is where they were arrested. Our partners at the Denver Post reported Karolchik went to Ralston Valley High School, Kwok attended Stanley Lake High School, and Koenig went to an online school. The district telling the Post the suspects will, quote, not be returning to school per district policy, and counselors, they're going to be available for students who are having a challenging time processing the news about the suspects' arrest. They are all facing 1 count of first-degree murder with extreme indifference. Additional charges are expected as these cases make their way through the court, and those teenagers will be in front of a judge around 10 this morning. We're going to be in there as well. And of course, we'll keep you updated on what comes of all of this. In Jefferson County, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Veronica, thank you. New this morning, there will be additional security after school at Denver's East High after a break-in on Monday. A thief got in through an open door while the dance team was practicing inside for their show, Peter Pan. Denver police say the suspect stole keys from a bag and used that to steal a student's car. Ashley Lane says her daughter, a freshman on the dance team, was there. Her backpack was clearly opened and looked through.
They were practicing in the auditorium, and another student came down and said there's a guy in purple pants in the room trying on our costumes and stealing things. This person could have had a weapon. This person could have hurt somebody, could have done something worse.
Investigators recovered the car Tuesday morning. The suspect is not associated with the high school, and police say they're working with DPS on safety issues and video evidence. The additional staffing is on top of the armed officers added to the school after a student shot 2 administrators in March.
Well, just days after another man was found murdered near Denver's La Alma Lincoln Park, family and friends will gather today to celebrate a Good Samaritan who was shot and killed trying to break up a fight there. 63-year-old Gary Ariano was killed at the park 1 year ago, and there is now a bench near the playground at the park to honor him. Gary's family told me last year the park was his sanctuary. He spent a lot of time there. So today's celebration of life is from 3 to 6 at the park. This week is also Youth Violence Prevention Week, and the city of Denver is having a painting party for kids ages 5 to 18 from 5 to 7 p.m.
A Denver hotel serving as a shelter for the last 3 years is closing that shelter today. The city of Denver leased the hotel to use as emergency shelter during the pandemic. That program is ending as pandemic response winds down and federal funds expire. The 124 guests who lived there were told about the closure in January, and 2 weeks ago there were still 19 people who needed new housing. But city officials told Denver7 of all the Aloft guests, they now have transition plans. Officials said that's thanks to the tireless work of community partners and the efforts of each of the guests themselves. Boulder County is one step closer to finalizing plans that would expand mental health services to the community. The behavioral health planning team held a meeting last night to share its roadmap. So far, the plan is to get more people the help that they need from services across the area.
We can honor our different identities, cultural traditions, models of support, needs, preferences, and get beyond just the medical model alone. The conditions in a community affect our mental and behavioral health. So having a supportive community is helpful for our mental health.
The team will meet in May and June before presenting draft recommendations for the community to weigh in. That meeting is set for June 14th. The plan will then be submitted for county commissioners to approve.
Well, the Avalanche are up against the ropes in their first round playoff series against the Kraken, and now they have to go back to Seattle and win a possible elimination game, Game 6. It's been a tough matchup for the Avs. Game 5 was last night at Ball Arena. They had home ice, both teams scoreless until the second period, and both teams also playing without one of their stars on the ice. The Avs' Cale Makar suspended a game for his hit on Jared McCann in Game 4. Seattle took a 2-goal lead in the third, and the Avs just could not catch up. 3-2 was the final, and now Seattle takes a 3-2 lead back to their home ice. Head coach Jared Bednar admitted the Avs are struggling.
I still feel like we haven't played anywhere near our best, and give them credit, give Seattle credit. You have to give them a lot of credit, but at the end of the day, I just want to see our guys play to the best of their ability for one game and see what happens, and that's the sort of attitude that we have to have. We can't look at the series as a whole or where we're sitting. We have the opportunity to go in there and win one game, and if we, fragment, it won't happen. You have to pull together as a group.
Yeah, speaking of the group, the Avs are also without their captain, Gabe Landeskog, due to injury, and forward Val Nichushkin out for personal reasons. Unfortunately, the struggles have come at the wrong time for the defending champions, so the puck drops in Seattle at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. A Minnesota Timberwolves star player will be back in Denver in June for a court hearing. Anthony Edwards was cited for third-degree assault after Tuesday night's game against the Nuggets. He allegedly swung a folding chair out of frustration for the loss and hit 2 female employees at Ball Arena. So he now faces possible jail time and a fine of up to $1,000.
Thankfully, the staff at Ball Arena won't have to switch from the ice to the hardwood for a few days. The Nuggets won't play there until Saturday against the Phoenix Suns. Coach Prime is still shaking things up with the CU Buffs football team. 23 players entered the transfer portal over the last 4 days. Players from the old team say the treatment they get from Coach Sanders is different than the players that he's brought in. One player told Sports Illustrated the new coaches don't really talk to old players like they do the new ones, and the new players wouldn't be critiqued much when reviewing film. He also said Sanders spent little time coaching old players and is working on getting his own team set and trying to turn around a 1-11 record from last season.
Well, a Colorado family will have 4 siblings graduating from college here in a few weeks.
Yeah, this is really exciting for them. So meet Abigail, Rachel, Julia, and Luke Molnar. They're quadruplets rather, and they all attended Metro State University. The siblings are graduating from MSU Denver with different degrees in the STEM field.
We had a little calendar in our kitchen where we would mark down all of the semesters that we finished college together, and so now that final box is just waiting to be checked, and 4 years have come by, so we're so excited.
Yeah, no, that's
Abigail and Julia accepted jobs at Lockheed Martin. Rachel is starting Metro State's cybersecurity master's program this summer, and Luke is weighing his options before deciding his next step. Metro State's graduation is Friday, May 12th. So exciting for them.
Yeah. Well, the Good Food Awards are out, and Colorado is well represented. How many are from right here in the Metro?
And veterans won't be able to test the healing power of pot. What Republicans are saying about a bill.